Good evening. How is everybody tonight? I am here and I am awake, and that's about all I can claim tonight. Let me put this up here on live chat. Pull the camera up in front of us. Yay! Zoom is telling me the meeting is being live streamed. Yay! I appreciate that. Thank you, Zoom. Hey, Lori, how are you tonight? And of course, I get a frog as soon as I go online. Lori knows the struggle. I'm like, get on camera, and then I'm like, okay. And I don't know if I like this setup any better. Still trying to work everything out, but I have a somewhat clean space in front of me to lay things out on, which makes it a little nicer. So, and how are you tonight, Lori? No sticking pins in your mouth. We were just talking about that a few minutes ago. I don't stick pins in my mouth. I stick mine in my shirt. So I'm always having to look at my shirts before I take them off and make sure I didn't leave any pins in it. You're feeling much better. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. Guess I can bring it over here to the camera on the computer until we get a few people in here. Yeah, we were talking about sewing naked can be dangerous. And for me, it can be dangerous because I stick pins in my shirt. So if I don't have a shirt on, am I going to stick a pin in my body? That would not be good. Colleen is eating. You got anything good for Din Din? We had Dinty Moore beef stew over rice. I love beef stew. I love Dinty Moore. I don't love all beef stew, but I do love Dinty Moore. Gee, I probably should have looked at that before. Oh well, Esmeralda does what she wants. Chicken and rice, hey, that's a good combination too. So what do you think? I don't even know if it'll focus very well. I put a little curtain up here to cover up the worst shelf down here. Because I was rewatching the video from last week, and I'm in my own room looking at this going, what is that on that shelf back there? What is that? Is that a printer? Why is there a printer back behind your sewing machine? Then I'm like, and I'm looking at my own stupid room. Why is there a printer behind my sewing machine? I need to get it. It either needs to be set up so it works with my computer, or it needs to go bye-bye, right? It's not going to function. It doesn't need to be in here. And all of our computers and phones in the house all print to the printer that's out in the dining area. So there's no point in me having a printer in here, except for the fact that it will scan. I have a scan and cut. Do I really need a scanner? So, and the scan and cut has moved off of this table, and it's now back over on that counter where I have the table runner. I sent a picture to Lori and Colleen. They have posted one somewhere. Anyway, the brother scan and cut is back over there. I think that's where I'm going to use it, but I don't want to put the computer back over there. So I've got to get all of the Bluetooth stuff up and running so that I can use everything without wires, because that was what was driving me crazy, was having wires everywhere. And so I thought, okay, so are we going to do anything tonight? Probably not much. I do have some stuff over here I've been pulling out that I want to applique and I want to scan. But the other thing I did was, because of Colleen, is I have this camera that's over here to the right is actually pointing in the direction of my serger. And I think I can move my serger over close enough to show some stuff on there if Colleen has any questions. I'm up to that point. I don't know if she's up to that point yet. She's still doing FPP. Don't give me that look. I see that. Don't give me that look. The wires are always, yeah, because everything, We've got wires running down the hallway for the cable modem. We've got wires for cameras and wires for charging phones. See, it's hooked up to the charger. We've got wires for plugging in lights, whatever those things are called. And I bought those little things, that once you know where the wires are supposed to go, you can glue them to the wall and then run the wire through it and it'll hold it in place. My problem is I don't know where any of that stuff's going to go because I haven't made up my mind. The only thing I've made up my mind about is that I wanted that curtain up to cover the mess on my shelf and that I needed to wear a shirt to do my live tonight. Other than that, I'm just I do have my cotton cuts clue. I think that somebody at Cotton Cuts has decided that I don't need to be on that Saturday Night Live with Stephanie. Hello, Gladys. How are you? Because I literally got my Cotton Cuts clue 5 minutes before the live. Thank you for wearing a shirt. I would not be on camera. And let's see what else is going on. Oh, I have been MIA a lot this last week. I even spaced off doing shorts for a couple of days because I've been adjusting to this new arthritis medication that they gave me. It's called Arava, Arava. And I went and read about it. It's a very mild form of chemotherapy. And let me tell you what, when they tell you it has side effects, they are not joking. The first week, I wanted nothing more than to stay right in the bathroom. And yeah, I didn't get mine till Saturday. But I wanted to stay right in the bathroom. And I have been sleeping like it is a job. And both of those are known side effects. There are worse ones. I'm not going to complain about sleep or going to the bathroom because you could have hair loss and you could have nausea and no thank you. But there are a couple of upsides to it. I have toe numbness, or I had toe numbness. My toes on my right foot have been numb for a couple of months to where I was concerned about it. That's mostly gone away. And can you guys see? They're not horrible. They're down enough that I can wear my wedding ring without it cutting into me, which is good because I like wearing my wedding ring. So not too bad. And my hands aren't numb. Usually I have problems with it being numb right down this outside edge. The med seems to be working. So I'll put up with being sleepy and needing to take a nap every day. Yeah, I get it's every time I get it on Saturday. I think that Fridays here are the day off for our postmen. You know how they have like one day off a week, but they work every other day. I think Friday is our mail lady's day off. So that's when her sub is out and he doesn't deliver packages at all. He just doesn't need to bother. So I don't know how he keeps his job, but that's a government job. It ain't my place to brag, right? All right, so let's go over here to the sewing table. I'll change us back to the other camera. I'm glad they're working too, because believe me, I was a little nervous about this one. I started taking methotrexate a couple of years ago and had a really bad reaction to that. Ended up having to have surgery because of the methotrexate. So I was like, no, I don't want to take that no more. See, here I is. I don't know if there's enough light on me. I may need 4 more lights so that I can feel like I'm a movie star or something. But I have been digging and digging and digging and stuff. And I have found some blocks that I forgot I had. Well, I didn't forget I had them. I just had them in a project bag in the other room. And some of you may recognize some of the early blocks that I did from the Quilt Builder card deck. So I'm bringing those in here, I am going to mix them up with my other quilt builder card blocks or card deck. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you, Lori. But I'm going to mix them in. And I think there's enough random blocks here to put together a crazy quilt and go ahead and do it. And it's just about in perfect time. Tracy! Because, and I have a bunch of these. I mean, you know, I made bunches of them. I do have another little small quilt with these, so these may not go in that crazy quilt. But I'm looking at all this stuff that I've got here and I'm like, yeah, I just need to get these all put together. And there is a new baby coming. Baby showers in July. I have enough quilt tops. I could probably just pull one down and put it together. So I'm going back and forth between whether to use one of my already made quilt tops or to make a new one for him. But it's for a boy. His name's going to be Dane Ryder, I think, or Ryder Dane. Something like that. I keep thinking about what my aunt told me that she wanted to name him. And I'm like, and I wonder why they didn't pick that name. She wants him named Bryce Owen, and I have no clue where those names come from. Because I don't know anybody in the family who's got any of those names. Dane, Ryder, Bryce, or Owen. Maybe Owen is the baby's daddy's middle name or something. Yeah, but like I said, I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to do a new quilt for little man or if I'm going to make just use one of the ones I have. I have a ton. I have like 30 underneath the desk, as Tracy keeps telling on me about. Yeah, I love babies. They're the most fun. They are the most fun. Once I get a little older, it's like, yeah, okay, let me smack you around a little bit. But little, oh, I just love them. So, and hopefully next weekend or the weekend after, the daughter that's down from Michigan is going to come out, maybe even spend the night. We'll see. And she's got 6. So we will be babied out that week. They're not all babies. They're all under 12, I think, 13. And she's got like the 2 oldest, and then the rest of them are 5 and under. So or 6 and under. So that'll be fun. So that means that I probably should get some more quilts put together because we sent home almost all of the quilts that I already had made the last time they were here in January. They aren't full growed. No, they're not. No, they're not. They don't act like they're full growed neither. Colleen sounds like me talking in the Appalachia dialect. And then I have a couple other things. I'm going to start working on this. This is a jar quilt. I've had the fabric for this for quite some time. So that's my next applique, and I've been working on trying to get some stuff loaded into the Scan and Cut for projects that I want to do, because I can load things in there in the computer, you know, scan them in and then save them in the computer and then call them back up when I'm ready to do it. So I don't have to stop and trace everything and make the dimensions right with every project. I can get those all ready to go. And then Wayne has been doing some designing for me this last week. I showed him an abstract quilt that I really liked, and he's come up with some more abstract shapes. So I'm going to work on that. And I think I'm going to do 3 videos in a row of different ways to do applique with freezer paper. I don't do needle turn. So somebody else will have to do that. Colleen, if you do it. But his sense of humor or design is way different than mine, which is cool. Because the first thing he came up to me with, and I'm hoping that will show on camera. Can you guys see that? I was like, I need an applique shape for an animal. and I wanted it to be somewhat basic shapes. And he came back with that, and I was like, that wasn't what I was thinking, but yeah, isn't that cute? Charlotte needle turn is like when I do applique, I normally cut out my piece and I fasten it down with heat and bond or with glue, and then I stitch around it with a machine. Needle turn, you take that same shape, you add a 1/4 inch around it, and then you literally use a hand needle to sew it down, and you fold over the 1/4 inch at the edge. So you're putting your stitches kind of in that folded over area and through the background fabric, and you're hand stitching it down. I don't hand stitch, remember? It does look like a bee or like I was thinking a wasp or a deer. He thought it looked like a deer, so he sent it to me. And so I said, okay, that's cool. No, no what? You're not doing you're not going to do needle turn? There, Beth over at My Quilt Projects does needle turn applique. She really enjoys hand embroidery. She's really good at it, and she teaches it really simply. So there's, even if I wanted to teach that, there is a better teacher out there than me for that one, and I don't enjoy needle turn. But I like doing applique every other way that there is to do it. So I may do a series of videos using each of the 3 techniques that I know and make some of those blocks that he designed for me, or maybe take shapes, cut them out, and then let my little imagination fly. Yeah, I don't do hand stitch. Arthur, I can't even cross stitch anymore. Tracy's really good at it, but Arthur says that I cannot hand stitch, and I'm not gonna buck him because no, the medication I just took, Tracy would do needle turn applique. You should do a video on it. You should definitely do a video on it if you're so inclined. But anything that I do as my idea of regular applique, you could expand a 1/4 inch around it and do needle turn yourself, or even take the same size shape that I'm using and turn it under a 1/4 inch and do it by hand. So yeah, you should. You really should. You do well at it. You're a better teacher than you think you are, Tracy. But I understand you don't want to be on videos. I get it. And then the other thing, we put out a comic book or coloring book a few weeks back, and some of you were very fast and generous and kind to order it. I know of at least 3 who ordered before we realized that the printing on it was coming out really blurry. So 2 of them I have fixed. I think I emailed Lori already. If I haven't, Lori, let me know. And the 3rd one I think is Math Geek. I sent her a message on Discord, but let me know, Math Geek, if you've got a blurry book and we'll fix it. Or if anybody else ordered and got a blurry book, let me know, because we will take care of it for you. We did fix the book. It is back up for sale. The patterns in it are different than they were in the original, simply because we didn't want to have a blurry book again. We didn't want it to do that again. You went over the machine applique by hand? Perfectionist. That's awesome. Has your dad gotten it yet? I'm sure he loves it. And did you put up a picture in Discord of it when it was finished, or is it finished yet? I'm trying to read, and I need to make my phone have large print for the chat or something. Or maybe I just need to be closer to the phone. I'm just trying to be far enough back so it doesn't feel like I was watching one of my videos. It's like the camera's right here. I'm like, nobody wants to be that up close to my face. Sorry. Not even me. Well, Wayne maybe. Yeah. That's awesome. So anybody got anything else going on that I should know about? I didn't hear. I watched Laura Lynn's live on Saturday. It was really good to see her back home and not in pain. She still looks a little shaky, but that's normal. You're going to be weak after that kind of surgery. Yay, Don. How are you today? Um, Tiffany apparently had hip surgery also. I haven't been there in a while, so I don't know what happened with that. The last thing that I had seen was about her son, and I'm still praying for her on that one because I know that's not something easy to get over with. I'm sorry. Why would I be sorry? Because you're here? No, I like it. I like it. I like it. So, numbers today, Colleen is 1120 plus. Sylvia's 817. Dawn, are you at 860 yet? I think you were 858 when I looked earlier. If I'm wrong, just correct me. I'm sorry. And I'm at 20, excuse me, I'm at 20, 1131. Yay. Hey, Joe, how are you tonight? Awesome, Colleen. And I see Miss Joe is here. Is it evening time for you, Joe, or is it morning already? Yeah. So everybody's growing, which is good. Very good, very good. And mom and pop are 29.9, I think I saw earlier. You're in red alert. Does that mean that it's really hot there or 1:18 a.m.? Oh my. You must have insomnia problems like I do. I woke up this morning at 2 a.m., bright eyed, ready to get up and go kill the day. And, at 2 a.m., what are you going to do? Run the vacuum cleaner? No. And, oh, it's raining. That could be nice. So I went back to bed at 4:30 and I still made it for Colleen's live at 7. Dawn, you didn't miss a whole lot. I was showing off some blocks that I found in the other room, things that I had made for the Quilt Builder card deck that I had forgotten where I had put them. And I'm debating with myself whether I'm going to put those into a new quilt for the new bee that's coming, or if I'm going to put together a quilt for him from all the quilt tops I already have made. Oh, floods are not good. Rain is fine, floods are not. Hello, Gay. I do not know why I can't see you still. And I went and looked in my Google to make sure that I didn't have you blocked for any reason. I don't know why. Oh yeah, that Everstone Sparrow. Lori sent me a picture of it. Gorgeous machine. And I looked it up on Amazon. It runs $350 and it's made by Bernina. So yeah, I was like, okay. So Gay, I'm not ignoring you. I just can't see you. I don't know why. Oh, wait a minute. What's up with that? Okay, Colleen, mystery. I can see Gay on the computer, but not on the phone. That's Bizarro World. So, and I'm on live chat on both places. Well, okay, Gay, I'm not ignoring you. I'm waving at you. That is bizarre. Yeah, live chat's on both places. Well, that is. That's one way to do it. Throw your phone on the floor. I couldn't see her there last week either, Lori. All right. Hold on. I'm going out of YouTube completely. Well, that's not good. I know how to do that. Hold on. Let me fix my brain, aka my phone. I'm going in the long way to the live. Ta-da! Okay, Lori, you're the genius. I'm not. Oh, she was telling me to go out, Gay, not you, but I can see you now, which is awesome. She's right. I had it filtered to top messages instead of all messages. That's my bad. So I fixed it now. I can see you. It for sure is, Giovanna. We're in Florida. We're at 11 feet above sea level. And I think that I was reading, or my husband was reading something and said that within 20 years, sea level in Florida is supposed to be 11 feet higher. So our property is going to be underwater within 20 years. It is scary. You figured it out last week. Okay. Well, now I feel dumb. I have the little settings icon up there instead of lines, but when I opened the settings up, it showed me the lines at the bottom. So anyway, that's what I'm going to work on this week is getting all those applique things put into the Brothers Scan and Cut. And I just swallowed wrong, sorry. I'm trying to finish getting my room cleaned up and reorganized. I don't like this table in the middle of the room, but I have to figure out where I can move my embroidery machine to. So that's in the mental stuff that I'm trying to do. If anybody has any suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments of the chat or afterwards. That's exactly why it is, Joe. That's exactly the theory behind it. And throw everything out and start over is not feasible. So that one you can keep. Sorry. Yeah. And I'm not going to be on here much longer tonight. My hands are less swollen, but I'm still not 100% on being able to sew. And I'm just doing, I literally was using the serger right before I came on, and all I was doing was whipping up a pair of curtains or it's not even a pair, it's a balance to go above the window in the dining room. I made the bottom curtains a couple of weeks ago. Sorry. I am so sorry, guys. That frog just doesn't want to go. Yeah, tech has just been, what a pain. Right now the tech is my hands. Anyway, so I whipped this up. It's double wide of that white fabric that I got from Marshall Dry Goods. And I hemmed the bottom, and I'm getting ready to iron over the top and do the blind hem. I had to think of the term. Sorry about that. But the way you do a blind hem on a serger, and this is too big for me to try to do on camera for you guys, but you figure out how big you want your pocket to be, and you would iron it all the way down. You want to iron it towards the back fabric, towards the back of it. And then when you go to serge it, you would serge right down this edge. And when it's done, it automatically makes your pocket for you, for your curtain rod. And I've got this one, like I said, it's twice the length, twice the width of the fabric, and long enough to come down and cover. That's what started me coughing, Joe. I took a drink and it went down the wrong way. But hopefully that helps. But anyway, once you do that, then you've got your pocket all sewn in and they're ready to go. And all I did at the bottom was I just did a little quick hem on it, because once you hang them up, you won't be able to see it anyway, because I turned it so that my white thread is on the front. I have 3 colors in my serger. I usually keep a gray, a white, and a black in there. If you want to like do universal colors, gray, white, and the rose colored pink, the really light rose colored pink, will match with almost any fabric that's lighter. And if you want darker, then you put in black and gray. Exactly, Tracy. That made sense, what I was saying about the serger. Yep. And I do zippers on my serger, all kinds of stuff. I'm waiting I really want to do some serger tutorials, but I'm kind of waiting on Colleen, because the questions that she asks will tell me what a beginner is going to ask. Most people, I've been using a serger for 15 or 20 years. So I don't remember what it was I needed to learn when I first got my serger and started using it. So I'm hoping that when Colleen gets ready to start playing with hers, the knife is on my serger now because I was doing this hem. But when I get ready to do this blind hem for the pocket, I will turn the knife off. You can leave it on, but you don't need it, because you're not going to be skimming over to that edge anyway. At the very most, you would, like overlap at 1/4 of an inch here. And I don't even do that. I just run it right along that edge and sew it down. And I don't worry about my knife because I can keep the fabric straight on my serger. But if you're not confident or comfortable about that, yeah, you can turn your knife off and do it that way really easily. Oh, Joe, you could probably teach me tricks I've never heard of. I remember when I first got my serger, one of the things that blew my mind was I can't even tell you who it was, but I watched him install a zipper with a serger, and I was literally mind blown. I was absolutely mind blown by that. And then, of course, my main reason for getting the serger was because I did a lot of knit stuff, because I made clothes for my kids and that kind of thing. And when I first started, excuse me, when I first started doing curtains and stuff, I did them, and I've got a video tutorial how to do curtains with a sewing machine, with an iron, using all the little tips and techniques and all the pretties to make them look custom made. But 9 times out of 10, when I'm making curtains, I'm making quick curtains out of the most inexpensive fabric I can find. And I've made curtains out of sheets before. No shame in my game. And I'm intending the curtains to last a couple of years at most. And then I'm either going to wash them and they're going to move to a different room, or I'm going to change them out completely. There's a Mexican restaurant here in town that closes every year from the beginning of July to the beginning of August. And they're from Mexico. So they go back to Mexico, and they have ladies, I guess family members in Mexico, who make them all new curtains for every window in their restaurant. And there's like 30 of them. I don't know what they do with the old curtains, if they take them back to Mexico or what. But I know that it's nice to go in there every year and see their little refresh. They have it painted and all the floors regrouted and all that stuff done. So I'm assuming it gets a good clean from top to bottom. But those curtains are always interesting because they're wild, vivid colors. Sometimes you get all kinds of food curtains. Other times they'll be pinks and blues or whatever. You use your serger with 1 needle, 3 threads. Yeah, yeah. For a beginner to make the pocket, turn the knife off is a good idea. They usually do valances, Dawn, so they're not, they're only like 16 inches, but they always have a different colored top. Like their little pocket at the top is always a different color than the body of the curtain. And sometimes the outer ends of the curtains are, so if you've got your long valance, instead of folding it over and making a pocket, they attach a pocket using other fabric. So they'd have like bright pink fabric for the curtain and blue for the ruffle and green tossed in there for something. Yeah. Hello, Steph. How are you tonight? Yeah, I even missed Stephanie's live Saturday night. I was asleep. I did get my cotton cuts like 5 minutes before she went live, but I was in bed within probably 10 minutes after that. Yep. And how are you tonight, Miss Steph? I've been catching up on Stephanie's videos as much as I can. I'm just, if I sit still that long, I'm just done. And I cannot wait until I get through I don't know, loading time for this medication. My hand, I'm still extremely tired from this medicine stuff, but I can already see reduction in the swelling. And I don't know if you can see it. I've got my wedding ring on and it's not tight, which means that the swelling in my hands has gone down a whole bunch. I like my wedding ring. I got to pick it up. Yep. Quilt Fair fabrics. I'll have to look and see what those are. Yeah, that's pretty much me. I'm either well, if I'm watching anything, I'm working while I watch it. That's just the way it goes. Yep. And don't forget to put Sylvia in there if you haven't already. I know she's not here tonight, but she would be. It's just midnight for her. I'm not big on patriotic colors. The red, white, and blue stuff. I don't know why. I like red and white together. I like blue and white together. But when you put the three in a quilt, I'm just like, eh. I don't know if that's some mental thing in my head, But I love, like I said, I love 2-color quilts, but I don't like that combination of 3-color quilt. I don't really like many 3-color quilts. I'd rather go up to 5 or just do 2 or do totally scrappy. We all know I love scrappy quilts. I'll do scrappy any which way you can throw it at me. Let's see. Sherlock told us earlier that she's about over her bout of nasty C word stuff. Yeah, I really like varieties of fabrics. Um, I don't think I'd mind red, white, and blue if it was all like patterns or different shades of red, white, and blue. I just don't like just straight red, white, and blue. You're better from the sickness, down with the sickness. Isn't that a song? A friend of mine used to sing it at karaoke, if I've got the words right. And Colleen has only got 2 more days of driving, and then you're off for the summer. Is that right? You quit typing. It has definitely been a Monday across the board, huh, Dawn? One more day. Yay. And then it needs to be driving lessons for the kid. Yeah, Wayne had a Monday at work too. It was like meeting after meeting after meeting. And about 4 o'clock, he went back into yet another meeting. His boss was like, wow, why haven't you done blah, blah, blah today? And Wayne said, I've been in 6-hour-long meetings in an 8-hour day. When would you like me to actually work? And I just keep saying, every time he comes out of there, I go, that could have been an email, you know? Yeah, I don't do Christmas. I don't do red, white, and green for Christmas colored quilts either. That may be it. I don't mind them, like I said, I don't mind Christmas quilts if they have a lot of different prints in them, but I don't like them just the 3 colors. Yeah, I remember those days. I worked for an attorney, and it was interesting sometimes. Thursday, and all of a sudden the whole day would just blow up, and I'd be sitting there looking like, and his wife, she ran our errands for us. And I always felt bad telling Carolyn, I need you to go courthouse or here or there or whatever. But like literally, I would make her packages of stuff to deliver and say, you've got to go to here. Um, but we were in there one day, and it just, I had sent something over to the courthouse. She delivered it to the wrong place. An attorney got it, called me screaming. And I was like, apologizing all over myself. When I hung up the phone, she's sitting there looking at me all wide eyed. I'm looking back at her, and I'm like, I think we let Bob handle this one. She says, yeah, that sounds like a plan. So we did. We let her husband do it. You forgot to do dishes? Yeah, Dawn's in there. There you go. Yeah. You didn't forgot to do dishes. You didn't have time to do dishes. It's an hour each way, right, Colleen? So that's 4 hours in the car, plus what? At least 2 hours sitting and waiting. Yeah, and yeah, you just didn't have time. 30 minutes each way, but you sit there. Okay, so that's still an hour, well, 2 hours plus every time you have to go to town. Not to mention time getting everything together to go out to the car and then dragging everything back in. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Uh, it's 30 minutes from here to town, 30 to 45, depending on traffic. And I dread it every time I have to make that drive. And Wayne has been so great because he will do that. He'll go hit town, do the drive, pick up groceries or meds or whatever, and it wipes me out. Exactly, Joe. As long as nothing's crawling. Oh, that's been my biggest fear. Every time that we have the kids visit, they go to hockey games and the kids are in school and they're all back at their regular in office in store jobs, and I'm like cringing because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to catch it. Yeah, the bad headaches the worst. I think they're, yeah. And one of my cousins, her mother-in-law and father-in-law, absolutely posted all over social media about how it was a hoax and it didn't exist and da 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 da. And so my cousin was saying the same thing. She's like 22 or 23. She's just parroting what her in-laws were saying. And I haven't heard anything from her since her mother-in-law got COVID and passed about it. So I'm like, maybe they're not. I think my cousin had to mask anyway because she works with disabled adults. But I'm hoping that they're masking and taking precautions now. Yeah, those salon pass are a big, huge help though. Yeah, Dawn, I hope your parents recover quickly. And I hope that they're healthy enough to recover quickly. That's the bad part. That's what always concerns me when, like, a really good friend of mine who was waiting to have open heart surgery. She's had it, she survived it now. Yay. She got COVID while she was waiting for her open heart surgery. And I was just like devastated because I was afraid that she wasn't going to make it. Thankfully, she did. And that was before they had vaccines or treatments or anything. That's weird, Dawn. Does he do more errand running than she does? Wayne went to get his last booster and they got him in both arms. He said he felt like he was in basic training because, shot, 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 shot. I think they gave him everything except the flu shot all at once, or maybe everything except the pneumonia. No, flu, because he got his pneumonia shot. He doesn't ever have to have another shot again because he's had two. Oh, thank goodness, Joe. Yeah, when I had my surgery in, make sure I got my dates right, 2021, I was in ICU for a day and a half or 2 days after the surgery. And the nurse that was taking care of me, her first question when I was conscious again was, have you had your COVID vaccine? And I said, yes. So they took all kinds of precautions to keep me because apparently I was the only patient in the 17-bed ICU or 18-bed ICU that didn't have COVID. Every other room was full to overflowing, like they needed my bed as soon as they could get it, um, with patients with COVID. And when they moved me to a regular hospital room, they had a nurse that basically was assigned to me. So I think I was moved more quickly out of the ICU than they wanted to, but because they needed the bed for another COVID patient. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes me wonder because I know I've been exposed. Are there people who just naturally aren't getting the variants that have already been out there? Or as it changes, is it catching people that it didn't get before? which is why I'm still, well, I have RA, I have osteoarthritis, I have, a whole host of stuff. So yeah, that's my concern is, have I just not hit the bingo yet? And I really don't want to hit the bingo on that. Of course, I think at some point it's probably going to be, if you've never had COVID, you're in trouble, but I think I'd rather pass if you don't mind. Yeah, Dawn, I hope that that applies to kids and grandkids. My younger son is type 1 diabetic, so I've been really concerned that he would catch it. And, because it whacks everything all out of order. I know his partner had it, and his partner isolated in their studio for the 2 weeks or whatever it took for them to get over it. So here's my son, I guess, taking food out forever, and then bringing the dishes back in and washing them and taking care of the kids, which, that's exactly what he should have been doing. But it was a little scary because I was afraid that he would catch it from her. She never got it, huh? I hope so, because every time I get a cold, I end up in the hospital with pneumonia. Yeah, yeah, I remember that when you had to go to the doctor for your asthma. And I don't see her here tonight. If I remember right, Miss Ellen has had COVID 6, 7, 8 times, something like that. It's like she catches it every time anybody sneezes in the next county over. I I just feel for her because that is some tough stuff, especially, she's diabetic and stuff. So that concerns me for her several times. Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, I know at least 6 because I do remember her saying that in a chat and it just gobsmacked me that she'd had it 6 times. Dawn, that's the second person I've heard of who took it. The first one was somebody close. Um, but is he having symptoms from the Paxlovid? The other person had bad nausea and stuff from it. So you're on vitamin D because of the medication. Yeah, 6 is a lot, and I think she's had it more than that. Like I said, and with her being diabetic, it's really concerning. So vitamin D3 and potassium. Vitamin K2 is K2 potassium. And if potassium is well, number one, I take Plaquenil, which is hydroxychloroquine, that they were saying, protected you from it. I don't know that that's true, but I do take potassium. I do take D3, and I take B12 along with some other supplements because of different meds that I take. And I take folic, well, I just re-added folic acid because of the Arava. Apparently that's supposed to help keep it from damaging your liver. Yeah, vitamin D is essential. I should have put my phone up higher. Yeah, I take potassium and I take maxi doses of turmeric. I take turmeric morning and night every day. Yeah, I've got vitamin A and D3, and then I do vitamin E also. The only thing about ginger is if you have stomach issues, you may want to talk to your doctor before that. It was, ginger was rough on my tummy. But yeah, turmeric I take because of the arthritis. The ginger I was taking because of the arthritis too. But it, between the ginger and, there's something else that starts with an F. Yeah. And I don't do milk. We do eggs, and I do some sun. Oh, okay. So Paxlovid does leave a metallic taste in your mouth, maybe. So, yeah, the ginger, the only thing I don't recommend unless you talk to your doctor, because it can cause stomach issues. That's interesting. I take more supplements than I do regular prescribed medications. Okay, so I'm going to start wrapping it up. I think that we've put in all the links. I didn't mean for this to turn into a discussion about the sea. Sorry about that. Yeah, that nausea is no joke. Butter pecan ice cream. Now you make me want ice cream. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I'm sorry we didn't sew anything tonight, but I'd rather chit chat with you guys and let my hands finish getting all whatever they're going to do so that Thursday when we do so, um, I don't have to quit halfway through, because I think we're probably going to do a complicated block Thursday. Everything that's left in the box is the more complicated stuff, so I need to be able to maneuver my fingers. My mother's favorite ice cream was butter pecan, and mine is actually cookie dough, but I will eat butter pecan in a pinch for sure. Yep. I hope you guys all have a great week. I will see everybody on Thursday, if not sooner. And I know there's a ton of lives between here and there, but my brain just went and lost it all. So thank you for coming. Thank you for chatting with me. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great week, and bye. And don't take any wooden nickels. Bye, guys.